What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, we're going to be going over my 250K squad for today. Well, I mean, kind of. It's going to be a little bit of a twist today because I'm trying to save a little bit of MT because, look, guys, I'm guessing after today, a lot of people are going to put up their soup cards, and I want to be able to buy them. But I'm also going to be competing in quals. So this isn't actually my 250K team because mine's going to be a little worse. But I'm going to be going over what my 250K team would be if I was really trying to secure my qualifier spot today. Most of you guys know I've qualified on both current gen and next gen, so I'm just kind of playing more so for fun today. But yeah, we're going to be talking about what your squad should look like if you are trying to qualify to the 250K tournament. Now, before we dive into that any further, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 90,000 subscribers. So we're going to start off the point guard position. Was there ever a doubt who I would plug in at the point guard position? Was there ever a doubt? Lonzo Ball. Now, the base Lonzo does have 15 Hall of Famers. My Lonzo, I think, has what? I'm trying to think what my Lonzo has, like 25 maybe. But here's what Lonzo Ball gives y'all. Okay, I like doing this on 2K database so I can talk about what Lonzo gives you. Gives you the ability to shoot the ball if you do apply the right badges. Defensively, absolutely incredible. Just, in my opinion, the best all-around point guard in 2K. That's why he is going to be my starting point guard. Obviously, he was very good for me last year. I'm comfortable with the card. There's no question marks behind Lonzo Ball. My favorite point guard on both current gen and next gen. Shooting guard position, this might come as a surprise to a lot of you guys. I'm plugging in Trace McGrady. A lot of you guys probably figured Ty's just going to plug in Kobe. And, I mean, if you're on current gen, I'd be more apt to run Kobe Bryant. Just throwing that out there. If you're on current gen, more apt to run Kobe Bryant. I do like T-Mac on current gen, though, too. So if you like T-Mac over Kobe on current gen, he is just fine. T-Mac, probably my favorite all-around shooting guard in the game right now, especially on next gen. Current gen, I still think Kobe probably has that slight advantage. But I love Trace McGrady, especially what he can do on the defensive end of the court. In my opinion, one of the most complete all-around players in the game. I know he's got the slasher dribble style, and that's what a lot of people are just going to hold out on. Well, Ty's got slasher. He can't be that good. Look, I'm telling you guys, from me to you, T-Mac is still one of the best overall cards in 2K, if not the best. I'm not even talking about the shooting guard position. I'm talking about in general. T-Mac is up there for being one of the best overall cards. Small forward position, a lot of you guys might say this is tricky. I don't think it is. I think Kevin Durant at the small forward position is the guy I'm going to plug in. I mean, if you look at just the small forward position, and a lot of people might argue Paul George. I do not like Paul George. Outside of Paul George, if anybody I want to argue is anybody other than KD, you can. I just think, I mean, look at the total stats. KD is probably the most complete. Melo, you can argue. I guess I just don't love Melo's release. I mean, KD can do it all. 6'9", really solid defensively, honestly, underrated defensively, shooting the ball great. Just one of those guys that I can plug in with this lineup. Who, I'll say it. Lonzo and T-Mac backcourt. I'm not going to say you're going to struggle to create, but it's not like you got, you know, a Derrick Rose or Steph Curry and Kobe. I mean, it's a little bit more of a defensive lineup. KD adds that versatility, can get you a bucket on that offensive end, which I do think is very, very valuable and very important. That is why I personally would run Kevin Durant at my starting small forward position. At the 4, it's a tough one. I'm leaning Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, again, I have Lonzo, I have KD. T-Mac and Giannis are cards you won't see me run today just because Giannis, I do think Giannis is really overpriced. And we'll talk about that later on in this video. But if you're trying to build your best squad, you've got to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the reason is, look, a lot of you guys probably do have Monty Williams or Steph Curry. Either way, you're getting that 3-ball to an 81. With Monty, you got the 99 speed. Just one of the best overall defensive players in 2K. That's the thing about it. He's one of the best all-around defenders in 2K. Has a smooth release, easy to time, easy to green. Just all the way around, Giannis is incredible. Yes, I wish you could give them Hall of Fame interceptors, stuff like that. Is kind of a downfall to this Galaxy Opal Giannis, but I mean, you can't even say you're gonna struggle to green with the card because you're not. I mean, quick release, easy to time release, and because his 3-ball is an 81 with the coach, I mean, you really should not struggle with it. Now, the center is a tricky one. Okay, it is really, really tricky. I'm going to say this. I'm running this card no matter what if I'm on current gen or next gen. I'm running Wilt Chamberlain. You're going to see me run him on current gen today. I think if you're on next gen, he's still your best center. If you mention the best centers, you got to talk about Wilt Chamberlain. He is one of the most underrated, I think, still to this day cards in 2K. And when I say that, I'm not trying to sit here and gas Wilt Chamberlain up. But here's the deal. Yes, he has the slight ability to shoot the ball. Okay? The slight ability. You give him catch, shoot, sniper, just those base badges. Yes, you're going to be able to green occasionally. I'm talking about an interior center, though, for Wilt Chamberlain that is nearly unstoppable. I mean, the dude's player motto is ridiculous. Defensively, he gets you fluke stops. With Monty Williams, you're going to get that speed up to a 93. With a shoe, you can get that thing to a 99. I really think, here's what I'd give him. I'd give Wilt off-ball pest. I'd give him ball stripper. I'd give him glue hands. Probably giving him sniper, catch and shoot, corner specialist. Those are probably the badges you're looking at for Wilt Chamberlain. You give him those, I'm not worried about him on the interior because he's going to catch the ball with glue hands. On the perimeter, as far as just having that threat of shooting the ball, he's going to have it. Nobody's just going to leave Wilt Chamberlain wide open if you can green with him. Nobody's going to do that. Wilt Chamberlain gives you kind of the best of all worlds. I think he is the guy I'd plug into that final center position. So this is the starting lineup I'd go out there with. You guys might say Giannis and Wilt. I don't know about that, but look, you got enough shooting elsewhere. Heading into the backups, you guys are probably wondering, is Jalen Rose going to be your backup point guard typical? Yes, he is. I think Jalen Rose, Lonzo Ball are still our top 2 point guards in the game right now. And until we see another guy to really solidify their imprint on this, I think you gotta talk about Jalen Rose. Just an all-around point guard, 6'8", might create better than Lonzo. A lot of people probably would argue that. I do think, though, Lonzo gives you that a little bit more in the defensive end of the court, even though he is a little bit smaller than Jalen Rose. But Jalen Rose, 6'8", kind of a skinny player build, good release, easy to time. Just a solid all-around point guard in 2K. Yes, I wish he was a little bit better defensively in general, but I think when we're talking about Jalen Rose being 6'8", that can help make up for it. Backup shooting guard, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, those are your top 2 shooting guards in the game. If you don't run them, if you run guys like Clay, like Terry, like Reggie, that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to run this squad, but I'm saying this is the best squad. Kobe Bryant is better than Klay Thompson. And I'm going to run Klay Thompson today over probably one of these 2 shooting guards. But, I mean, it's not by choice. It's because I really have to start saving MT and hopefully make a come up on some of these cards today. Kobe is incredible, though. I mean, that's the one word I can use to describe Kobe Bryant. Absolutely incredible. Better on current gen than next gen. I want that to be clear. But even on current or even on next gen, he is really, really good. Really tough. Can dunk the ball. Can shoot the ball. Wish his release was on quick, as the majority of the community does. But with what he can do on defense, even stopping dudes on the interior, Kobe Bryant is really, really tough on 2K. Now, backup small forward. This is where things get really interesting because you got a lot of options here at small forward. To talk about them, I'm going to go here and talk about the secondary positions and give you guys the options I'm thinking about. So, we've already got T-Mac, Kobe in there. Paul George, he's not really an option for me. The options for me are Jason Tatum, Carmelo Anthony. Those are 2 options I think you could definitely make the case for. Thurl Bailey, another one. Then outside of that, it gets tough. Who else are you really going to debate for that small forward position? You can plug in LeBron James if you're really wanting to ball on a budget, but I really think it's a 2-horse race between Jason Tatum and Thurl Bailey. That's my personal opinion. And between those cards, I think I've got to lean Thurl Bailey. I think I've got to lean Thurl Bailey between those 2 cards. Now, if Thurl Bailey's a card that I'm plugging in here at the 11th spot no matter what. Because even if you want to run him at the 4, you can. If you want to run him at the 3, you can. So even if you want to run Jason Tatum, just plug Thurl Bailey in that 11th spot. Thurl he can do it all. What can Thurl not do? People might say his release isn't good. His release, honestly, is not bad. Tendencies are great. Player models, fantastic. I like Thurl at the 3. I don't really like running Giannis at the 3, but I can run Thurl at the 3 and do just fine with it. I mean, when he's evoed, talking about a guy with an 87 3-ball with it, which is just fine. Yes, I wish I could apply badges. Yes, I wish I could adjust the badges on Thurl Bailey. But even as his base card, the dude is very solid. Power forward position, this is why I'm saying, like, if you want to run Jason Tatum over Anthony Davis, just move Thurl Bailey right to that 4. Anthony Davis at that backup 4 is the man with the plan. A lot of people do like running AD at the center position. And I'll kind of go into why I don't specifically like that. But if you want to run AD at your 5, do what you got to do. I will say this: you run AD at your 5 and you come up against a Yao Ming. It's not so much that AD is going to get mashed because he will get you paint stops. He will get out rebounded by a lot if you run AD against Yao. It's just quite honestly that simple. But still, AD at the 4 I think is a perfect spot for him. You add more height to the lineup. AD's shooting ability is up there with some of the best. Again, I wish his release was on quick, but we're not getting to that yet. Shooting wise, very solid. Comes with quick first step. Defensively, very stout. Just an all-around great power forward in my team. Backup center, here's where things get tough. If you're on next gen, I'm plugging in Yao Ming. If you're on next gen and you don't have Yao Ming, it's a problem. Because Yao Ming on next gen is a problem. The dude can mash, the dude has a decent release, the dude moves decent because he is 7'6". Yao Ming is an absolute problem on next gen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're on current gen, you can still run Yao. Yao is not a liability on current gen. He's honestly a cheese ball and not a card I want to really run up against too many. I don't want to run up against too many Yaos today, to be honest with you guys. I'm a big Yao stan. You guys have probably heard me say it before that Yao is the top big of the game, and I'll say it again. Outside of Will Chamberlain, I think Yao is him on next gen. And I'll say this: if I didn't press, Yao would probably be up here. If I did not press, I would probably still have Yao Ming ahead of Will Chamberlain. More than anything, because I can green way more consistently with Yao. I think that's the main issue. But still, Yao and Will, I think on next gen are the centers I'd go with. Now, if you're on current gen, I'd lean more into Kristaps Porzingis. That is my personal opinion. That if I'm on current gen, because you guys will see me run KP over Yao today, and I don't want you guys coming back here and saying, but Ty, you told me to run Yao. Listen, if you watch the video, I'm telling you right now on current gen to run KP and on next gen to run Yao Ming. Got to badge up KP. I know in the defensive end, he's still not going to be great, but just the ability to stretch the floor is so valuable. I mean, it is, and he is the legit one of the top stretch bigs in all of 2K. And I mean, why do I like him over, for example, Karl-Anthony Towns? It really comes down to his release. KP's release is much easier, much quicker to get off. And that's really why you're seeing KP getting ran right here. So this is really my top 10. Obviously, on current gen, on next gen, we're plugging Yao in there. So, if I have to plug in other people, right? If you have to choose to fill out your 13-man squad, who else plays? That might be your question. I think I gotta include the guys that might play for me today, and that starts with Klay Thompson. Let's just talk about this, okay? Let's say you got a Klay Thompson with 25 Hall of Famers. Is he better than a base Kobe or a base T-Mac? Well, if he has quick first step and maybe, interceptor, pick dodger, then you can make that argument. If you like Klay more than those guys, I'm not going to be the one to tell you any differently because I love Klay, especially on the defensive end of the court. So he's a guy that if you run, he's fine, guys. He's basically the 98th percentile of a T-Mac of a Kobe, and I love Klay Thompson. You're going to see me run Klay Thompson today and probably see me cook quite a bit with Klay as well. So I do like Klay Thompson. I'm not trying to sit here and slander Klay because he is a very good card. Some other honorable mention cards that you could play and be just fine with: Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, Carmelo Anthony, Reggie Lewis, even a James Harden is an honorable mention at that point guard position. You guys might be asking, okay, Ty, awesome, but who is going to get that last spot? Okay, and when it comes down to that last spot, it's tough because I only got one other player. I think I got to plug in a point guard though, just in case things get really gritty. I got to plug in a point guard for James Harden. Let's say Lonzo Ball gets hurt. I got to have another option, and if I had another option, it's James Harden. Do I think James Harden is as complete or as good as Lonzo Ball or Jalen Rose? No. But again, if I have to come up with an option, it's James Harden. Here's the deal, guys. This squad right here costs a lot of MT. And the reason I was talking about Giannis costing a lot of MT is because this card right here can do 99% of what Giannis can do. And you can argue he's even better than Giannis. That's why I'm saying, like, if you have Larry Nance, he's 98% of Giannis. If you have, for example, Jason Tatum, he's basically just as good as Thurl Bailey, probably 96% of what Kevin Durant's going to give you. KP, for example, is a fine guy to run on either gen and is 50,000 MT. There are so many different budget options that you can go with. Terry Dishinger, for example, the shooting guard position is going to be a really cheap option for you guys to go with. So many different options for you guys to run. Really just comes down to your comfortability level and who you want to run. Again, Reggie Lewis, for example, another free card that is definitely runnable. But look, if I was in a do or die situation, the top 10 players I would run on current gen are the ones you guys see here, your top 10. Then if I was on next gen, I'd probably maybe even run KP over Yao, but I'd probably have Yao at least in that 11th spot. It's gonna wrap it up for my video today, guys. Let me know who you guys would run. Who am I missing out on, guys? Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.